Hello, Paula Daniele from Crochet Hooks You here, and today I'll be showing you how to make this red heart colourful corded scarf pattern. And this was designed by the Double Stitch twins. This is an easy skill level pattern, and the scarf measures 2 inches by 66 inches. Now on this pattern it says to use Red Heart Super Saver 1 skein of Bonbon and 1 skein of Lavender. Now I don't have those colours on me, so I'll be using different ones today. So this is a very easy scarf. It's crocheted lengthwise and it's only 4 rows, so you'll be finished fairly quickly. So it's nice to wear for yourself or to make it for gifts for others. You can find this written pattern through the link down below in the description box, and that'll be on the redheart.com website. The yarn I'll be using in this tutorial is 1 skein of Red Heart Super Saver, and this is a worsted weight category 4, and this colour is called Earth and Sky. So that one is the first one I'll be using. The second one is Red Heart Super Saver also, which is a category 4, medium worsted weight, and this one's called the Cafe Latte. And we'll be crocheting these 2 skeins of yarn together, so both strands will be going onto the crochet hook. Now the size of hook that you'll be needing today is a 8mm hook, and you'll also need your craft scissors and a yarn needle. So to get started, as I said before, we'll be using both of the skeins together. So grabbing the ends of those skeins and using the end strands, we'll be making a slip knot. Using both strands together. So to get started, we're going to be chaining 133 chain stitches. So we need to make 133 chain stitches, and you can make them loosely. Just make sure that when you're making each chain stitch that you gather both strands and pull them through like that. So I'll let you continue on, and I'll see you at the end when you've made 133 chain stitches. Okay, so now I have 133 chain stitches here, which will be the length of the scarf. So for row 1, we're going to do a double crochet stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a double crochet stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. Making sure that you get through all of those strands. So there's our first double crochet stitch. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet stitch into each and every chain across, right until the end. So this is the very easy part, just 1 double crochet stitch into each chain. Same again. That's all you'll be doing on this row. So I'll let you continue on making one double crochet stitch into each chain across, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Just as a tip, when you're working with two skeins of yarn at the same time, you can just hold them at the top like that, and you can grab each strand at the other end like this and just pull on it and pull out as much as you need, so it's easier to work with. Otherwise you're actually going to get your skeins running across the floor or across the lounge or wherever you're working, so they will actually run away from you if you don't do it like this, or if you haven't got them set up in yarn containers. That's just one way of keeping them under control. Now I'm at the end of row 1. So at the end of row 1 you should have 131 double crochet stitches. Now if you are going to count them back, and I did because I wanted to double check whether this chain 2 at the start counted as a stitch, and it doesn't in this pattern. So just try and show you closer there. There's a chain 2 there, and the 131 stitches, or the stitch count, starts from this one, and then you count so forth. So that's how this pattern works. That's how it's been designed. Okay, so now we are on to row 2. So to get started, we're going to chain 3. So we're making 3 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to turn our work. And I'm really happy with the colours I've chosen on this one. This looks great. So once you've turned your work, and you've pulled out enough yarn to work with, we'll start on row 2. So this chain 3 that you've just made here, that does count as one double crochet stitch. So now we'll be doing a front post double crochet into each double crochet stitch. So we'll be starting here. This one here. So a front post double crochet. This is how you do it. So you're actually going around the post of the double crochet stitch. You're not going into the top of it. I'm just going to pull it out so you can see. So you've gone around the side of it. You haven't gone into the top of it where you normally would when you're stitching into a double crochet. So that's a front post double crochet. So now we're going to do that into each stitch along this row. One front post double crochet around the post of each stitch right across to the end. And see, it just pops up. side view. It's a back view. So moving on to the next one, diving in through one side, popping out the next side, wrapping yarn over your hook and drawing it through, and then just finishing off as normal, or as you normally would for a double crochet stitch. So do that again. There's another front post double crochet. So I'll let you continue on, and I'll continue on my work also, and I'll meet you at the end of this row and just continue making your front post double crochet stitches into each stitch along until the end. I'm up towards the end of row 2, and now we just make our last stitch into this turning chain here. Now it looks like I'm doing a front post double crochet, but when it actually comes out at the end it just looks like a double crochet. So you're pretty much just doing a double crochet into that end one there. So all up, what you've got at the start of row 2, you did a chain 3, and then right along this row you should have done 130 front post double crochet stitches, and then this last one, it can either be called a front post double crochet or just a double crochet. I mean, to me it's just a double crochet. It doesn't say to do this in the pattern, but if you don't, then you're going to end up with this piece poking out at the end, so it's a little bit odd. So you do want to place that last double crochet or front post double crochet into that last, this turning chain here. Now we're up to row 3, and we'll start off by making 3 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to turn our work. Just bringing our work back over to the left side here. And we're basically going to do exactly what we did on row 2. So we're going to do a front post double crochet in each stitch across. So we'll be starting in this one here. Just making sure that you get through all the strands. So there's our front post double crochet. Move on to the next one. So you're going to continue that right along this row. just making one front post double crochet into each stitch. So I'll let you continue on, and I'll keep going, and I'll see you at the end of this row. Now I'm up towards the end of row 3, and I've done all my front post double crochet stitches, and here we have our turning chain, so I'm just going to pop a double crochet stitch into that turning chain to finish this row off. So at the start of this row you did a chain 3, and then you should have done 130 front post double crochet stitches right along up to the end here, and then we've done one double crochet into the turning chain here. So now we're up to row 4. So for row 4 we're going to chain 2. So make 2 chain stitches, and this chain 2 counts as 1 half double crochet stitch. So now we're going to turn our work, just bringing your scarf over to the left side here. I'll just give you a view of what it looks like on each side now. Okay, so for row 4 we've done our chain 2 when we've turned, and now we need to do a front post half double crochet into each stitch across. So we're starting off with this stitch here. So we're doing a front post half double crochet. And we're going to pull through all of those loops on the hook there, and that's a front post half double crochet. So I'll show you that again. Into the next stitch there, wrapping the yarn over the hook and drawing it through the post of the stitch, wrapping the yarn over the hook and drawing it through all of the strands or loops on the hook. Front post half double crochet, and that's all you'll do right along this row. And as you can see, when you're working with this many strands, it sometimes can be a little complicated. Even for me. Because there's a fair few of them running around in there. I'll just do one more front post half double crochet, just to show you how to do it again. And if you're having trouble trying to find where you're supposed to dive into, just pull your stitches apart and you'll see, that's the one. That's where you need to go around the post of. And you can see that you've done this one here because it's higher than this one. So that's how you can figure out which one to go into next. So see, that's higher there, so I know I need to dive in this side, back up this side, wrap the yarn around the hook and draw it through, wrap the yarn over the hook and pull through all loops or strands on the hook there. Alright, so I'll let you continue on right along and I will meet you at the end. I'm now up towards the end of row 4 and we're just going to finish off with a half double crochet stitch into this turning chain. Now that doesn't say that on the written pattern, but it really does need to be there to complete this row. So at the start you should have done a chain 2 and then you would have done 130 front post half double crochet stitches right along this row, and then we did the last stitch as a half double crochet stitch into the turning chain. So now we're ready to finish off. So leave a good amount of yarn there and with your scissors just cut those ends and finish off, also known as fasten off. And pull that tight. So at this stage you'll need your yarn needle and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one strand at a time and weave it into the back of the work, because if I try and do both strands together it's going to be a bit hard to get it through this yarn needle that I have today. It looks like it's having trouble getting one yarn strand through. There we go. Okay, so now we're just going to slip it on down. Pop that one out of the way. So you just want to tuck it and hide it down behind the stitches. And you can go, keep going as long as you want. And then just turn it back this way and just skip that last loop you can see there and just take your work back in that direction. So that's what you're going to do for each of those yarn tails. Just hide them in your work like that. So I'll let you go and do those last 3. So you've got this one, and on the other end you've got those other 2 to hide. So once you've weaved your ends in with your yarn needle, this is what it looks like. This is the corded scarf. It's quite a fantastic design. I'm quite impressed with the double stitch twins. It's cute. It does look like a cord. I love it. So if you'd like to show a picture of your colourful corded scarf, you can do so by placing your picture on the Crochet Hooks You Facebook page.